Morning, Paul.
Hi, I just have a quick question I was wondering if someone could help me with.
Sure.
Do you have a minute?
I do.
Okay. Well, I was doing some deep Bible study into the divine name and the New World Translation. I know you guys like deep research and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the reasons in some of the passages they give for putting Jehovah in the New Testament is when it quotes the Old Testament.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's two passages that are quoting from Isaiah 45, where it talks about every knee will bend down and every tongue will swear.
All right.
That's Romans 14:11 and Philippians chapter 2, 9 through 11.
Okay. Let me pull that up.
Okay.
My name's Peter.
I'm Christine.
Christine and Ben Ume happens to be sitting here with me too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where are you from, Christine?
I'm just here at home right now.
I mean, are you from Canton, though?
No, I don't live too close to there. I just hope to get a Jehovah Witness because I sometimes talk to them they're on the corner at the park, you know.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Hold on, let me pull that up. Isaiah 45?
Yeah, that's the passage that both of these verses are quoting so clear that they're alluding to them. It talks about every knee will bend and every tongue will confess or swear, it says. Isaiah 45, 22 to 24.
Yeah, to every knee will bend and every tongue will swear loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
They surely in Jehovah are true righteousness and strength. Okay.
So in Romans 14:11, they put in Jehovah instead of Kurios based on that. It says, "For it is written, as I live, says Jehovah," in the New World Translation. "To me, every knee shall bend down and every tongue will make open acknowledgement to God."
Jehovah your God, you should fear, and him you should serve. His name you should swear.
Yeah, so Romans 14:11 changes the Kurios to Jehovah. Based on that, I think it's based on, because it's an Old Testament quote. I don't think there's any J versions for that, but that's what they're basing that on.
Okay.
So then,
you sound like you're very well studied in the Bible.
Oh yeah, I love to read the Bible. Yeah, I know you guys do too.
Do you presently study the Bible with any one of Jehovah's Witnesses?
Oh no, not currently.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about doing so?
I actually did it one time. It was a couple years ago. I really enjoyed these two ladies that came.
How come you stopped studying?
Oh, they stopped. So I don't know what their deal was. Anyways, so now let's look at Philippians 2, 9 through 11. This is quoting from the same passage, Isaiah 45.
All right, hold on. All right, okay. I'm just reading Romans 14:11.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Now in Philippians 2, 9 through 11, they don't replace the Lord with Jehovah. And it's referencing the same verse, the same passage in Isaiah 45. Every knee should bend and every tongue should confess or acknowledge.
Okay.
So I just wonder why they replaced the Lord with Jehovah in the one, but not the other.
That's a good question.
Because then I guess maybe they don't like what it would say. Every tongue should openly acknowledge that Jesus Christ is Jehovah to the glory of God the Father.
Well, who did in that scripture there in Philippians 2:9? This one you said, correct? Did I write that down right?
Yeah, 2:9 through 11.
Okay. In there it says, for this very reason God exalted him to. We would have to go back first of all as to why it's God or why it's Jehovah to the translation, and that's what we can't answer without looking it up. But we'd be glad to get back with you on that.
Yeah, they replaced it with Jehovah in the one. But
quote.
What? Sorry.
I sometimes it might refer back to it as an exact quote, or it may be where they're paraphrasing in the translation. So you would really have to go back and understand why it was translated the way it was. But that's something we could look into.
Yeah, I find it really interesting because.
Did you feel that should apply to Jesus there?
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's referencing the exact same passage. And, because of their doctrine, that's not a good reason. So, don't try to use a circular answer that because you know that Jesus isn't deity, you don't believe in the Trinity, you can't say that's why. That can't be a reason. So just in case you would want to say that. You can't say, well, our belief is the reason we didn't want to put Jehovah there, And also, you know what else I noticed? This was really interesting. When I was looking up to see, how they have cross-references in the New World Translation?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had one in Romans 14, cross-reference to Isaiah 45. And then in Philippians 2, they don't have it currently, but in their older New World Translation, they did used to have it, so they removed it.
When you say older New World Translation, what year of translation are you referring to?
Okay, I'm looking one. This one is 1950.
19 what?
1950.
1950.
Yeah.
An old one.
Yeah, it's interesting that they removed it, because that wouldn't be a very productive thing showing their doctrine if people look back at Isaiah 45, that this is then applied to Jesus.
So you have a copy of the 1950 New World Translation, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, isn't that neat? I found it in a bookstore.
And you show it's New World Translation?
Yeah. Yeah, it's green, 1950.
Oh, it is green.
Okay.
That's from
okay.
That was before we were born, that.
Yeah, isn't it amazing that they would remove that cross-reference purposefully? I wonder why they did that.
Let me ask you, do you feel God's name is Jehovah?
Do I believe that it should be in the New Testament, the word Jehovah? No.
No, I'm asking, do you feel God's name is Jehovah?
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
So do you think it should have been put anywhere that where it was in the original translation that the name Jehovah should be placed?
In the Old Testament, yes. And any knowledgeable Christian knows that. There's footnotes why they used capital L-O-R-D. You used Adonai. You use Adonai too, because Jehovah is kind of like a combination of trying to figure out what the missing vowels are. And that was done by combining with Adonai and Elohim. So really, it's not really that much different than what the standard translators did. So we're fully aware about YHWH. But
everyone understands, though, too, that it's understood that God's name meaning would be Jehovah. That's the understanding and accepted.
Well, scholars actually say it's Yahweh is more accurate. I think it even said that on the JW broadcasting. So we know that Yahweh is more accurate.
So you listen to the broadcast too?
Oh yeah, sometimes. Not all the time, but yeah, I did hear that one. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Do you have witness family members?
No.
No. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, so what most scholars don't agree with is the insertion of the word Jehovah into the New Testament, since there aren't any manuscripts that contain it at all.
Well, if a quotation from the Old Testament, and in the Old Testament, it's God's name Jehovah that's being translated. Do you agree that would be how it would be translated?
No, because it's not in the manuscripts. They have manuscripts now going back to like AD 100, and it's still not there. Even when they quote from the Old Testament, I think often they use Old Testament quotes, and you'll see that they are reappropriating them to show something, And but that would only be about one. Let's see. The Old Testament quotes is only a portion of where they replaced it, which was 237 times. Oh, okay. Let's see. It's about 1/3 is only the ones that are based on an Old Testament quote.
So let me get you. You're saying that you do not believe that the name Jehovah should appear anywhere in the Old Testament.
In the New Testament.
Oh, in the New Testament.
Yeah. I think there would be hardly any biblical language scholars that would think so. That's why it's not in other Bibles.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
If that would be an accurate statement, when Jesus was giving the model prayer and to let your name be sanctified,
right?
How could it be sanctified if Jesus was not, in fact, using it?
Do you think his name meant a series of letters? That's how the Old Testament always uses the word name? And it's funny that Jesus never mentioned saying Yahweh. He never mentioned saying the Tetragrammaton, if that's what he truly means by that. And when he's talking to all Jews there, they all knew about the Tetragrammaton. They all knew about Yahweh. So that's not really what he's talking about. There's places in the Old Testament, many, where the word name refers to the divine presence of Yahweh. Like, did you ever read about the angel who Jehovah put his name in him? Now, remember, angel in the Old Testament simply means messenger. That's in Exodus chapter 23. Do you think Jehovah put letters, YHWH, in the angel? That's Exodus 23, so check it out sometime. And the other uses of the word name. Sometimes Jews just called Jehovah, Yahweh, or the presence, the name. I can send you a really cool article about that if you want. It's something that was really new to me in the last couple of years also.
Right. Well, maybe I could just say a couple things.
Sure.
And then probably should end this.
Okay.
But there are times that Jesus did, in fact, use God's name.
Okay. Could you give me the verse?
Matthew 4:4.
He said Yahweh in Matthew 4:4.
Well, it is written, man must not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from Jehovah's mouth. Oh,
because he's quoting the Old Testament?
Yeah.
Doesn't it use the word God there? I'll check it out, though, okay? Do you have another one? When he did say pray, he said, Our Father. He said, call him Our Father. So it's interesting, even in the model prayer, he's not saying, say Jehovah, right?
Well, even when he's being tempted from Satan, and it would make sense that he would use God's name, Jehovah, at that time. Is Jehovah your God you must worship, and to him alone you must render sacred service?
I have to check that one out, but in the one you gave me, it's Theos. It's Theos.
You with that is, maybe, because I guess what I'd just end this with, I mean, you watch the broadcast, and you must appreciate what the witnesses do as far as trying to have a share in the preaching work. They take that very seriously, and no other religion is doing that. Who told you that? So, what's that? Who told you no other religion witnesses or preaches? Do you know of a group that actually spends so much time and effort in the preaching work? Absolutely. Who do you think has done the most world missions? Who do you think started the missions movement to countries that had no missionaries during the 1800s? Famous men like Hudson Taylor, Adoniram Judson, Gladys Aylward.
They opened those countries that you go to.
Well, I mean, the intention to spread the message from the Bible is commendable. And we also do appreciate your calling and wanting to have a little bit more insight on these references, these translations.
Yeah.
But what we like, do you own a copy of the New World Translation?
Oh, no, just the online. I know they have it online, the most recent one. Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't buy one, yeah.
Okay. If you have a copy or you can reference one online, look on C4.
On what?
On like C for like com.
Yeah,
C.
yeah.
Letter C.
Letter
Oh,
C,
I see. Yeah.
Under the and then when you get there, it gives some more insight.
Okay.
It's the translations and reference works supporting the use of the divine name in the New Testament.
Mm-hmm. Could I ask one more question, real quick?
Okay.
If considering the way the letters and the Gospels in the New Testament were disseminated, spread through the ancient world, how did somebody retrieve them all and change them all? You must have some theory on that. You can't make that assertion. You know that they would have a letter from Paul and then it would be copied because people highly treasured his apostolic authority. It would be copied and then it would be sent somewhere else. And so it went out in different streams into different areas by being copied and shared.
Excuse me. Can you say your question one more time? I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, when you consider the original manuscripts, like the letters of Paul, they were a letter. And the way they were spread through the church of that time, through the congregation, whatever you want to call it, was someone would be like in Ephesus, and then they really valued that apostolic writing of Paul, and they would copy it. And then they would take it with them, and then it would be copied and spread by being shared that way. And they highly treasured those copies, from the originals. And say it would go in one direction, one person would take it somewhere, and then it would go somewhere else. That's how it was spread throughout the ancient world. How do you propose that someone gathered them all together and changed those words 237 times without any objections that we have in church historical writings? There's just nothing like that. And the more we keep finding older manuscripts, they do not have it either. So that's been across the board. There's not even one.
Well, that's not an accurate statement, but I think what you probably want to do, if you have the online translation, the appendix that Ben was talking about is Appendix C. There's C1, 2, 3, and 4, and it talks about those translations.
How do you propose that they changed all of them?
Well, I think what you probably want to do is just read that appendix. And
I don't think it refers to that because I never heard really an answer for that. They just assert it. They just assert it that you can't make assertions like that. There's no theory explanation of how someone gathered them all together. There was no central authority that could it wouldn't even be possible.
Yeah, the reference I just told you about might give you a little bit more insight. And we can add one more. And if you look both of them over. Okay. And you still have any more question, maybe you can speak to a witness.
Okay.
If possible, face to face, if possible.
Okay, that would be cool. Yeah, and I'd like you to ponder that and to try to come up with some theory in your own mind how all those manuscripts, all those letters, the Gospels that were copied and spread very rapidly throughout the ancient world, how they were regathered and replaced all those words.
Thank you. We appreciate your thoughts.
Will you ponder about that? Hello?
We've already done our we've done.
Well, then why can't you answer that question?
Because it's not really a question, and we did ask you to read the appendix.
Okay. Okay.
And if you read that, then I think you would understand it.
Well, I can read it because my church doesn't forbid me to read things. Could you read the article I was telling you about the name? And that it doesn't always mean letters? I can email it to you.
No.
Like, I'll read yours if you read mine type thing.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate your call.
Oh, that's so sad how they restrict you. I know when you say research, you mean just go on to the online library, right? That's not research. That's not.
Just one more time, the Appendix C is it refers to biblical scholars, refers to everything beyond what the witnesses have published. Did you read that?
Why did they publish the King James Bible? Why did the Watchtower print it if it was so wrong?
Anyway, well, that's a subject for another time.
Hey, I like you guys. Thanks for talking to me, okay?
So much.
God bless you. Bye.
Okay.